Warren types Biden and Bernie in Iowa. Game on. Congressman Steve King is at it again. Santa needs a swimsuit and the rest of us ought to get scuba gear. Climate change is happening. I'm Jamal Simmons, and this is why you should care. For months, Joe Biden has been at the top of every poll in every state. Sometimes he slides, others climb, but Biden stayed right on top. But something might be changing in the Democratic race. Yesterday, Iowa Starting Line and Change Research released a poll of Iowa caucus goers that put Elizabeth Warren in the lead with 28% support. Around here, we like to call Warren E-dub when she bosses up, and this is definitely what I'd call a boss-up moment. 4 years ago, Bernie Sanders nearly toppled Hillary Clinton in the Hawkeye state. Today, according to this survey of folks likely to actually participate in the caucuses, Bernie's 11 points behind Warren in a tie, with Joe Biden at 17%. There are some caveats with this survey. The entire poll was done online, and again, it was a survey of Iowa caucus goers to drill down on the people who will probably participate. But let's pull back a bit and look at why you should care. In a national poll released this week by The Economist and YouGov, Biden's at 21%, and wait for it, Warren's at 20%. That's a statistical tie. The vice president's still leading in most surveys. He has support from lots of establishment figures and older African Americans who are a key voting bloc. He could very well be the Democratic nominee. People tell pollsters they just want to beat Trump, and they think Biden is the one who could do it. In a Fox News poll out this week matching up the candidates against President Trump, Biden beats the president 50-39. Sanders wins 48-39, and Warren wins by a more narrow 45-39. That appears to be Elizabeth Warren's problem. Voters like E-dub's plans. Increasingly, they like her personally, but they're looking for a winner, and they're not sure yet that Elizabeth Warren is the one. The way to crush doubts you can beat Trump is to beat some other people. And we see you, E-dub. Republican Congressman Steve King is on thin ice with the GOP again. Speaking at the West Side Conservative Club in Iowa Wednesday, King said, "What if we went back through all the family trees and just pulled out anyone who was a product of rape or incest? Would there be any population of the world if we did that?" Now, King is no stranger to cringe-worthy comments. There was the time he said, "Diversity isn't America's strength," and quoted Hungary's prime minister, who said mixing cultures would lead to a lower quality of life. And the time he said in an interview with Newsmax that immigrants are smuggling drugs across the border. Quote, "They've got calves the size of cantaloupes because they're hauling 75 pounds of marijuana across the desert." And, well, you get the picture. King was already stripped of his committee assignment earlier this year when he questioned why white supremacists and white nationalists became offensive terms. But the 9-term congressman might have pushed his party's pardons to the limit this time. Some of his fellow Republicans on Capitol Hill are openly supporting his opponent in the primary. Congressman Steve Stivers, who runs the House GOP campaign committee, is considering the same thing. Congresswoman Liz Cheney, part of the GOP House leadership, she tweeted on Wednesday, "Today's comments by Representative Steve King are appalling and bizarre. As I've said before, it's time for him to go." And in an interview with Fox News, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said King's latest remarks aren't the first time he's raised concerns. Even President Trump wasn't feeling King's crazy comments. Now, here's why you should care. Because dude wants to normalize rape and incest. As Beto O'Rourke said the other day, WTF. It's blistering in the Arctic. No, really. According to data released by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a weather station in Sweden, north of the Arctic Circle, hit 94.6 degrees Fahrenheit last month. Just to put that into context, the hottest temperature recorded in New York City last month was 95. This, after July is said to be the hottest month in recorded history on the planet. So why should you care? Look, it's 95 degrees in the North Pole, people. Somebody ring the bell. This is a problem. Climate change has been a distant, intangible threat, hard for many to fully grasp, but now it's hitting us closer to home. The Arctic heat wave isn't the only example of extreme weather we've seen lately, which now seems to be a weekly occurrence. Alaska's seen high temperatures too, more fires, and reports say emaciated animals thrown off by the changes are wandering into towns. One other thing to watch, if you're talking to Nana and Pop about retirement, tell them to stay away from beachfront property. Business Insider reports sea level rise is threatening $1.5 billion worth of property in South Carolina alone. You know, Donald Trump has that hotel, Mar-a-Lago in Florida, and a golf course. Maybe he's looking to ditch the Sunshine State and head north for his vacation home. Word on the street is he's eyeing Greenland as new U.S. territory. Despite his interest, it doesn't look like Denmark is ready to sell it. Thanks for watching Hill TV on YouTube. Be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we post new videos. And head to thehill.com for all the latest political news.